stage manager. Check in with my stage manager. And we can give it here. Okay, let's go back there.
Let them talk.
Right. Seriously.
If they want
Please
to.
not. Oh, I have to care that.
Yeah.
I was asking like a random.
Talk don't bother me.
It's the subway, right? The subway.
I know.
It is.
It's like a Tokyo in subway. Title.
You see, any place to be.
You've been waiting for it, I'm waiting too. In my imagination.
Open.
Well, we played the wrong intro music there.
Oh, that
for a
wasn't
moment.
Let
Well, I'll fix that later. Welcome to Let Them Talk. I'm Paul DiRienzo.
And I'm Miss Joan Marie Musi.
And our guests, we are honored to have two fascinating guests here. Take Ueyama, right? Did I get it right?
Ueyama.
Take Ueyama and
Yeah.
Jill Echo of the Take Dance Company, based here in New York.
Welcome to the show.
Well,
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
and we're looking forward to a very interesting show to learn about dance. And we have I'm not the expert, but Joni can ask some interesting questions about dance. But
I know a
she's
little bit
fascinated.
about that.
She's fascinated by dance, and I'm sure our listeners, because we are live, and you can call us at 212-757-1541. That number's on your screen, and we'll take your calls, and you can join the conversation.
So
So
call us
welcome
up.
to Let Them Talk. Call us up. And first of all, let's start by talking about the event that's upcoming, Take. Tell us a little bit about what you're planning, and then we'll talk a little bit about you and what you enjoy.
Okay. We have this is the fourth New York season since we started dance company in New York, and we have a weekend performance at the Miller Theater at Columbia University. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, May 15, 16, 17, 8 p.m. So I want everybody to come.
Right, where's
Yeah.
the
And where is that?
How do you get the exact location?
116th Street on
And
Broadway.
On Broadway.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
great.
local number 1 subway lets you right at the front door.
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
excellent,
So
right
nice
there,
and easy.
sure. All
Yeah, nice and easy.
right, so all our viewers up in the Upper West Side can just walk there. They're just like right there.
So your group is a modern dance company, is that
Yes.
what you would say? Okay, and so explain to
Yeah.
people, the viewers, what is modern dance as compared to, say, jazz or ballet?
Wow. What is it, modern dance compared to jazz and ballet? I think we have a much more freedom to do as an art form. I think we have a much more freedom to.
It's not as regimented, say, as ballet.
No. It's
Or
more
jazz.
personal. I think
Yeah.
it's more personal. Yeah.
And what do you mean by not as regimented in the sense of, now I see
Well,
movies.
ballet has
Yeah,
strict
tell us
movement,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Whereas
Mhm.
modern is more interpreted by the individual dancers. Is that?
So
Yeah.
with ballet, there are codified steps, and the women wear point shoes, and the men wear ballet shoes, and a lot of it is storytelling. And you know, you have the old classic romantics with prince and princess, and they meet, and there's a dying swan. But modern dance was sort of a revolution away from ballet, where you had bare feet to start. It was created by Martha Graham, and it was more about human stories that everyone could relate to, instead of the classic story of the prince and the princess. So you use a lot of torso movement in modern dance, where in ballet it's very upright, and
And
what
limbs, right?
and very, yes, it's appendage oriented, I guess I should say. Well,
Well,
although I think they would probably disagree. But the reason why modern is uses the torso so much is because that's where all your human emotions lie, whether
In
it
the
be in
core
the
of your
core of your
being,
being.
yeah.
So when you move that, the emotions can come out.
Well, you know, we actually have a couple of minutes of video that a clip we can play, showing some examples of the work you're doing, and
That'd be nice. Yeah.
and then we can use that
Right,
as
so
something
then
to
we'll
jump
have
on. We'll play
something
that
to
a
talk
couple times
about,
during the
yeah.
show. So hang in there. We're going to play that right now. So stand by.
All right, the Take Dance Company.
Take Dance Company coming right up. I should be coming up.
That was wonderful.
I'm glad
I
we
love
got
it.
to see some of your work. Well, what's going on in all those little clips? That's great. Takehiro Ueyama
Yes.
and Jill Echo are here from the Take Dance Company. You just saw an example of their work. They're going to be playing up at Columbia University in the next few days. And what was happening in those clips? What are those clips taken from?
Well, there's a bunch of clips from our rehearsal. Actually, a friend of mine, Damien Eckstein, I asked him to compose a music for one of our piece last year. So he just following us to see the performance, see the rehearsal. And then last summer, every summer we go to a place called Chatham, New York, PS21, performing arts space for 21st century. I think that's the name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go there every summer. We have a 1-week residency and performance. So we premiered that particular piece called Looking for Water. So I asked him to create the music, and he's interested in just keep filming our rehearsal and performance. So I think he's going to be finishing filming this summer.
Yeah, I think so.
We're going back to PS21 again. Yeah, so.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the concept of collaboration because it seems integral to dance. Often you're working with music, most of the time working with music, and sometimes working with a composer. Sometimes with music that's already been composed, but sometimes you have music composed specifically for the piece. And it also seems like you have choreographers involved in your dance company besides yourself. Like
Yes.
Jill is also a choreographer,
I
from what I
will
understand.
be this summer.
She will be premiering brand new piece this summer
Oh,
at the
wonderful.
PS21 in Chatham, New York.
Oh, great.
Great.
Well, what do you think of the concept of collaboration? Is it a part of the dance career that you enjoy, or?
Yes, because as a choreographer, even working with my own dancers, it's already collaboration.
Is a form of
I
collaboration.
I can do so much by myself. Then I bring the idea and throw my idea to my dancers, so my dancers gonna understand the way, they're, So that's how I create the work too. So, yeah.
So it's pretty
It's
integral to your work.
it's a very important.
But I think with him, when he has a composer come in, and it's something brand new, it's really wonderful because they see the piece, and then he says what he wants, and then they bring it in, and then he has this, they can talk about, over here, can you make it a little more like this, or I'm hoping to bring in more sound here, and so they're really, the people he's worked with so far have been really wonderfully open
nice,
to his
very
vision,
nice.
so he can sort of have the music being created at the same time, and it's I think that's
Yeah.
really wonderful.
So
I
it
don't
sort of
really-
adds a
yeah.
richness to the process then of
Yeah.
developing a creative
So what I want,
product, right?
Go ahead. Take, I want to ask you a little bit about yourself and how you came to dance. Where were you born and raised, and how did
I'm from Tokyo, Japan. I never danced any formal training until close to 20 years old. I
Oh,
really
really?
wanted to be a professional baseball player and hurt my shoulder, injuries.
Wait, you wanted to be a professional?
baseball player, like
Oh, baseball player.
Hideki
Oh, okay.
Matsui and Ichiro, right?
So you started as an athlete.
Shortstop,
Shortstop. Wow.
New York Yankee shortstop.
Okay.
Right?
Wow. And who'd you play with?
Japan,
Yeah,
Japanese
Japan.
baseball
Yeah,
team.
okay.
Yeah,
Interested.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my dream, and that, okay, this dream is not gonna work, so what am I supposed to do? And at the same time in Japan, that was like a late 80s, everybody started doing breakdancing. So I was one of them too, on the
Oh,
street and break
interesting.
dancing, hip hop dancing. And somehow I ran into my first formal dance teacher. I was close to 20. I hated it. Classical ballet, wearing tights, modern dance. I don't understand what's this contraction. What's this? About. I mean, I hated it. Then I think it.
But you were prepared for it because of the athleticism, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't a shock to your body
always,
per se.
yeah.
I mean, baseball
Physically.
is the most. It seems to be the most like dancing. I mean, I guess basketball to a
I
certain
feel
degree, but baseball
basketball,
has
yeah.
all the muscles, They say it's the most well-rounded athlete of them all.
Oh, that's
Is
nice.
that, I don't know. I've heard that.
I mean, I was shortstop too, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
right. You're really
Right.
right.
Oh, is that where those moves come from?
And you don't want to miss them.
yeah, I don't, yeah. And then one summer, I think one of the most important person in my life, her name is Kazuko Hirabayashi, teaches Juilliard school. So came to Japan and she taught like a huge workshop in, I think, Osaka, Japan. So I was taking her class and then just changed my life. And then I didn't want to do this modern dance. People call it modern dance. I really want to do this. And I asked her what am I supposed to do? And she basically said, come to New York. And then here,
Juilliard.
I am here.
So you
Juilliard.
studied at
And he
Juilliard.
went
So I
to
studied at
Juilliard.
Juilliard, and
And then you were with Paul Taylor,
after Juilliard,
right?
yeah.
Who is you might want to explain a little bit about who he is to viewers who might not know the dance
He's,
world, but
I think, one of the most important choreographer 20th century.
yes, very, very
People call him
prestigious
genius.
company to be in.
Yeah, and I was with them 8 years, and the creative process I experienced so much value of the the choreography arts, and somehow naturally I just took it. I learned so much from him. That's why I think I'm choreographing right now.
So for folks, well, one of the reasons we're here is to talk about the event that you're having at Columbia University this week. So tell us a little bit about that event again. Tell us when, where, how we get there.
Can you tell me?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's this.
By the way, Jill
the-
also danced with the Taylor Company. We were together at the Taylor Company.
Yes.
So right,
you
so
know.
we don't want to Jill. I mean, we've been focused.
Oh, you're going? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, you're right.
No.
Jill, we want you to talk about your skills because obviously you're a great dancer. You're in your own right as well as choreographer. So you're not just here.
Yeah.
I
you
think
know?
that the poignant part to this story is that while he had Kazuko Hirabayashi at Juilliard, she was
Yes, she
my
had.
mentor at Purchase College.
Isn't
And we
that
didn't know each
interesting?
other at the
Yeah.
time. And then we were in Taylor at the same time and realized we had
Came
the
from
same
stage
mentor,
training, yeah.
and that's when we became friends. So I feel the
That
same
was,
way
yeah.
about her as he does, and it's sort of like from, not
Different
knowing
parts of
each
the
other, but we
world,
had the
right.
same mom
That's so
to
great.
come together.
And how
That's
did you
really
come
wonderful.
to dance? How did your life?
I
back?
am that classic New Jersey Miss Maureen School of Dance, and somehow Purchase College accepted me. I still have no idea why, and then that changed my life. Also, I didn't know what modern dance was till I got to college, till my audition at college.
So you studied tap and
Tap,
ballet.
jazz,
and-
ballet.
Do you
yeah.
tap?
Not so
Never
good.
seen it.
You know what? Nobody would really want to.
Okay.
I don't think anybody would want that.
Never seen it.
Right. So getting back to
So-
the event now.
So
tell
the
us-
event is
yeah.
at Columbia University, the Miller Theater on 116th and Broadway, and it's this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m. And he's doing four or five. Are we doing 5 pieces? 5 pieces.
2 world premieres.
2 world premieres and
1 New York premiere.
And you have a website. Tell folks your website. Spell it out so people can go and
spell
learn
it.
more about the event.
it's www.takedanceny.com.
And that's, so let's spell it out. www.t.
TAKEDANCENY.com.
Right, so check
Good.
it out.
Check it
now,
out,
you've
yeah.
also just completed a pretty interesting project where you choreographed a piece for the New School Dance Department.
Yes, I
Tell us
just
a little bit
did.
about that.
They've been asking me to choreograph. I mean, I would do the next year too. But since last year, they asked me to choreograph something new for spring concert.
And this is their dance students. that
dance
perform it.
students. Yeah.
How was that working with young people?
It was difficult before, but I've been to so many university and working with 18, 19, 20 years old, so I get used to.
Well, they have fabulous
Duet.
athleticism.
Yeah,
at that
and
age.
it's a it's good exercise for me too because
Right.
I
Keep up with
always
them.
I always work with my own dancers.
Yeah.
That's so much easier for me. I just bring my idea and they will do that way. I just want to see it.
Right.
But with the students, I really have to tell them what I need to see it.
You have to educate
yeah.
them.
Right,
In,
as to
as,
what-
So
as,
choreography
as
and
you
same
just
time
said.
education.
So,
And you need a little patience too, because they're not like my dancer.
Not
So I was
okay.
like years ago, I was like always angry. I'm like, the students are crying, but now I know how to
You've
do
worked it out.
they still cry, but
They still
it's
cry.
not as often.
Yeah, but it went well. It went very
That's
well.
great.
Yes.
It was beautiful, very beautiful.
All right, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was really interesting experience.
Right. So, what does the future hold? What kind of things are you shooting for? What would you like to do in the future? Where does the choreographer go? Do you want to do a play at Lincoln Center, or a Broadway play? Do you want to do choreograph some important television program? I mean, any of those kind of things, or?
Do you watch Dancing with the Stars? I do. I'll admit it.
Wow.
I love that show.
Dancing with the Stars.
I
I
like all
watch
dance
sometimes. I watch sometimes. It's too many dance shows these days.
There's a lot
on
now,
TV.
right? Yeah,
If you
it's
do it at work all
amazing.
day.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's
But my future, I don't really have that kind of desire to perform in like a Lincoln Center or like a bigger venue.
Right.
I would love to have my dancers to work with me for a long time. And
And
so I just
full-time.
want to create my own
I understand that
career.
because
Instead of like try
Yeah.
to sell,
Right.
try to
Create
be,
your own.
yeah.
That's interesting. Very good. That's interesting.
Nice to have our own studio too, though, but that's very difficult in New York.
it is.
That's what I want. Nice to have my own space. My dancers getting paid, I get paid, and I can just keep working with my dancers and then just try to produce. It doesn't really matter how famous you can be or like how big a venue you can perform.
I understand wanting to work with the same people too, because you do develop a rapport that doesn't come with anything but time. Basically, it's sort of a chemistry with the
Yes.
person and then time. And if you have to recast every time,
It's hard.
you're kind of
Right.
starting from ground zero each time.
Yes.
And then they have to learn work that was already created from a video or from another dancer instead of being there when it was being created. And he does create on his individual dancers. So if a role, is set on one person, it's going to be completely different on another
Have a
person.
different
Yeah.
person do
And then
it.
the longer you work with somebody, the more they understand his style of movement, which is really specific and really unique. And I know, I'm like, his style of movement. He's really technical, but he's so fluid and organic that that people have a hard time not being stiff, but still being clear. So I think that, and expansive. So the longer they work with him, the better they move. So he,
Yeah.
it's a nice
Do you
thing.
work with
Yeah.
improvisation? Like,
A little bit. He mostly all right now comes from him, but I feel like his company's so new and he has so much he wants to say. He just is like,
I wish we could
spinning it
convince you,
out.
and I wish we had enough space to actually show you.
Well, I mean, she can
One
do it.
week,
I'm
ceiling,
done. I'm going to quit dancing. I'm done.
we don't have much height here either.
Yeah, not
And
much
I've
height. You don't
seen a
want-
lot of
not too much
pictures
height.
of you. I've seen a lot of pictures where you're leaping very high in the air, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
Well,
he
let's
used to
play the
jump
video
higher.
then. The next best thing, we do have a brief video, and we can.
okay.
Okay.
Let's show it again in case anybody missed it at the beginning because it's fascinating. It shows a lot of different aspects of the process and your company, and so it is a good introduction. Here we go.
Okay, and now we're back, and we have a phone call.
Oh, we do? Okay,
Yes.
because then I have a question too.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, hello. I have a question for the dancers you're interviewing.
Great.
Sure, go ahead.
How do you get tickets to the show, and are the pieces that you're showing from the clip going to be performed during your season?
Yes, actually, the pieces that you're seeing in here will be performed as well as a premiere. And you can get tickets at the door. Or you can go through Smart Tix.
Great.
You should spell that.
And
Anything
check
else?
also their website, because
Yes,
that
on
probably
our
has the
website you can
information.
see, yes.
Right, and we'll read that off in a moment.
Come.
Great.
We'd love
Anything
to
else?
have you.
Anything
All
else you'd like to
right.
add?
No,
All
I
right,
think she
thank
hung
you.
up, but thank you for your call.
Well, thank you very much for your call.
Now, what I was going to ask about, we were talking earlier about collaboration, and another person that seems integral to the process is the costume designer. So do you work with the same person all the time, or have you worked with different people?
Different people.
And,
Yeah, different
and how do you go about deciding on the visual of that? Because that seems so important. I mean, the costumes, the midriff
yes.
with the big skirt seem like a really beautiful look, and
There was a design by the white costume looking for water. The Shell. Yeah. Shell was actually creating a red dress for the brand new duet. We are
Right, you
performing
can
Call
see
the
on this
Love
tape,
Stories.
And it's beautiful, yeah.
It's a beautiful dress.
And by the way, the tape is on the YouTube, so you can look it up. It's also on your website.
Right.
And we have another call coming in that
Oh,
we
great.
just had for a moment ago.
Oh, we'll call back.
Maybe we'll come back. Yeah, call back. I'm
We're
watching.
paying attention.
Tell folks where the website is. What is your web address again?
It's www.takedanceny.com, and that's spelled www.takedanceny.com.
Okay, and we have, of course, here in the studio, Takehiro Ueyama,
Yeah.
Jill Echo. I'm Paul Durienza with Joan Musi. This is Let Them Talk. We're live on the air. You can call us right here in the studio at 212-757-1541. And tell us again when the show is going to be and where it's going to be at the Miller Theater.
Miller
Columbia.
Theater at Columbia University at 116th and Broadway.
So you just come
Thursday
right
through
upstairs. You just, what's the day?
Thursday through Sunday.
At what time?
The 15th through the 17th at 8 p.m.
15th to 17th. Okay, at 8
So
p.m.
there's several shows to choose from.
Right, there you go. And there's the website that you can go to as well. So in the last few minutes that we have here, tell us a little bit more about what it's like. You know, it was very fascinating. You talked about being a baseball player and going from sports to dance. It's an interesting, for other folks in the sports world who might be saying, well, I'm tired of getting beaten up all the time, I'm waking up and being on the road all the time. Is dance really, it's an athletic, there's a lot of athletic expertise involved that's similar to sports.
Yes.
What are the similarities, what are the differences? From your perspective, as a former professional or somebody wanting to
Well,
be a
there's
professional?
dance, there's no win or lose,
Right,
right?
it's not a competition.
No competition. And then, I mean, sports, if you lose, and that's it. Right? You don't, but dance is like, you can just keep dancing, perform. So there's no, but but it's very athletic. I think, I mean, I was playing baseball, it's physically very demanding, but dance is, I think it's almost maybe more demanding.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I mean, people are
And
always surprised that people keep dancing. Like, I'm 53, but I
Yeah.
still dance. But if you've always danced, then you can continue. That's
Yeah.
the thing, is not stopping,
Yeah.
really.
That's what
Yeah.
we keep
Athlete
saying.
is more like
you know,
using
can't
like a
stop.
bigger muscle, strong muscle
Yes.
of the body. We, I mean, of course, use the bigger muscle, and then also like the place somewhere you never really know that is there any muscle here that we
That's
you know,
interesting.
whole body we use the,
Right.
and the
And
joint
flexibility
and flexibility.
also in
I'm not
dance, right?
flexible, so
You're
but
not? Come
I don't know
on,
why
I
I'm
saw you
dancing.
sleeping.
I can jump, but I'm not really flexible.
No
Tell us-
splits, huh?
Tell us a little bit more about the music, how you choose the music and the musicians you work with.
Music I choose is that I always have ideas of like a, you know, something I want to create, and somehow most of the time music was just playing from the radio or TV or on the street when you're walking. I hear the music and like, oh, this is it. That's how I usually discover the music.
I see.
And the musician, did you have a live music? Oh, once we had a
Once.
live music with actually my girlfriend Anna, played the violin, and I asked the composer to create
I see.
very improvisational music.
And the piano and the violin.
Piano and the
for the
violin by
Kennedy piece.
Miss Margaret Kennedy.
Wonderful piece of music.
called Undertow. It was a beautiful
And it's
music
wonderful
too.
to work with live musicians, isn't it?
Yes.
It's really a difference between a tape and live
Yeah,
music.
because we, you know, live performance always.
right.
So it's nice to have a live music,
music
live
as well,
performance,
yeah.
and live
It's also
audience.
very difficult
Yeah, right.
if
That's
the
interesting,
tempos are
audience, the role-
changing.
The role of the audience as well. Is there a, sort of a synergy between the performers and the audience?
I think so. Yeah.
That's interesting. How do you feel that? How can you describe that? Is there a way to describe that? Can you describe that?
Can you describe it?
Anybody who performs live feels it, don't they?
Yeah.
Even if you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
describe
Yeah,
it.
it's very special place.
Uh-huh.
On stage, it's a very special place.
Very good. And that special place is going to be, tell the viewers one more time in the last few seconds of the show.
It'll be at the Miller Theater at Columbia University on 116th and Broadway this Thursday through Saturday at 8 p.m.
All right, so show up.
Please come. We'd love to
Thank you
dance for
very
you.
much. Any last words in the last few seconds?
Yeah, thanks for coming. We
Thank
really
you for
Thanks for having
you.
us.
Yeah, it's been
Thank you
really
very much.
fun.
Okay, this has been Let Them Talk. I'm Paul DiRienzo with Joan Musi, and we've had the honor of hosting Take Ueyama and Jill Echo of the Take Dance Company right here in New York City. And Take is a former shortstop turned modern dancer. Oh, there we go.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.